government, represented by the Ministry of Education and NDLEA, has formally agreed to introduce compulsory drug testing in tertiary institutions alongside integrating drug education into secondary and primary school curriculum. Now, there are three-pronged strategy: review and update drug education in secondary schools to address evolving psychoactive substances, launch standalone drug prevention initiatives, lectures, competitions, and parent-involved programs, implement mandatory drug testing in universities and polytechnics, targeting new enrollees, returning students, and conducting random testing. Now, to bolster this effect, a substance use prevention unit has been established within the Ministry of Education. Funding support is being coordinated through the UBEC, Tech Fund, and the NDLEA Academy in Jos. Now, frame this initiative as more than enforcement. It's a public health intervention with supports like counseling, rehabilitation, and 24-hour helplines rather than penalization or expulsion. Institutions examples already underway, like Kwara State University. In December, Kwara State held a flag-off ceremony for 8 drug testing program in collaboration with NDLEA. Over 500 students were tested in a day. Those found positive were offered counseling, while rehabilitation costs were borne by families. No students were expelled. Lagos State University, in August 2025, last week declared that 4,500 prospective students for the 2024-2025 session will be screened for drugs before admission. The decision was taken after an incident involving a drug-addicted student. The move underscores the institution's role in nurturing teachers with high moral standards. Now again, University of Abuja adopted pre-admission drug testing in partnership with NDLEA, making it a requirement for entry. These are there's a whole lot of it now that the government is trying to do now. Now you're welcome to Inside the Mirror with Benjamin. Today, we are taking a closer look at an issue that shapes drug testing universities. Now from 10 a.m. You can watch us on RSTV online, on Facebook, and on YouTube. You can send in your questions, and like I always say, the guest will always do justice. Whether he's here or not, he will send the answers to you. So thanks for joining with us. That's our social media handles will be scrolled online so you can see, and then follow us. Share your thoughts, your comments, your likes, and all that. Sir, you're welcome to the program. Now,
thank you.
I took time to do a little bit of what the government and those schools that have started on the drug, because whether we like it or not, the drug issue is something that is damaging our society.
Sure.
A lot of young people you see on the street, roaming the street today, they are from taking substances they ought not to take. And that's why I said the mirror comes from the charity begins at home. If you can crop them from the home, we will get our society better. Now, I know that ASU is planning to go on strike again. No,
I don't want to talk about that.
But yes, but the students will be returning back to school very soon. Now, Kwara, Abuja, and then they've started, and Lagos started. The University of Port Harcourt, have we started, or are we ready to start?
I'm not in the right position to talk about whether Uniport is starting or not.
Okay.
But I'll give a general view of it. One, everybody knows drug is a big menace in the society today. And no parent wants the child to be a drug addict.
Exactly.
How does the substance abuse start? We need to address the beginning before we can think of solutions. How does drug abuse start? Where can we start early and nip it in the bud so it doesn't get to addiction? It starts one with peer pressure. But before peer pressure, if a child will be so pressured by the peers, it must have been that the parents weren't at home. They weren't there for the child.
We are hustling for money.
Today's child is left on his own, left to the internet, left to social media, left to friends, and not even well-wishers. Those days we used to have adults that could just walk up to any child and correct.
It's
no longer the case.
Yeah.
So now, if I walk in the street and they say child messing up, I can't tell the child stop. No, because it's no longer the community society we used to have. We have an adult that could stop me if I was messing up then and beat me to stupor, not to kill.
Yeah.
And when my parents saw the child, saw what was done to me, and the parent that did that, they will shake his hands and say, well done. You even get beaten as well, because such a man of renown will not just beat you for no reason. That was the society we had then. But now we have a society, close-knit, single, individualistic society, where they tell you, do it, you can do it. Do it on your own, you're able. No man is an island. But no one can really live in a society where you're alone and do what you want. So you have half-developed, unbalanced society of Gen Zs, or what do they call them now? Gen Alpha, the new one. Yes. So the Gen Alpha, they just live their lives within their whims, and whatever comes to their minds, they try. They try out whatever they want to try.
Is it because the parents are absent in their life?
One, the parents are absent.
Okay.
Two, the parents are not watchful.
Okay.
Some parents have their children having single rooms on their own, and they never enter. They don't know what goes on there. They don't know what they watch online, the pornography, the societies they join online. They don't know. Some of the young people, even in primary, secondary schools, are initiated to cult organizations right online, and the parents are not aware. And it's not because of society or say you're rich or you're poor. The phone, the internet is everywhere. You don't have to be rich to afford the internet. Just a little change, you're able to do whatever you want to do. Now the issue is, how is parenting now? Have you gone out and seen children misbehave? Have you been in a bus and seen a child misbehaving? And the mother is there and the father is there. We have parents that are not parented. That's the case.
Parents that are not parented.
Yes, parents that are not parented. They weren't parented. They were allowed to grow on their own. So that's the problem of Gen Alpha. We have young children. How old is an adult? 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. There could be a 50-year, 60-year-old woman or man that thinks like with the mentality of a 15-year-old. There's so many of them are everywhere. Now, how do you know whether these people are grown up and could decide what is good and what is wrong? Engage them in arguments. Engage them in discussions. Just call them, engage them. You will know their reasoning level. Many of these Gen Alpha, it says Gen Alpha, Gen X, Gen Z, Gen Alpha.
Is there another Gen after the Alpha?
No, they have no.
Okay.
No one has come. So we have Gen Z and
Gen
Alpha.
Z, Gen
Where
Alpha.
do you fall into?
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
So all the Gen Zs and Alphas, they weren't trained. And many of them are now giving birth to children who are not learning anything from them. And churches are not helping matter. Because when we were growing up, we were afraid when going to church. But now they are no longer afraid going to church. They can play, do whatever, dance, do anything. I'm not saying dancing is good. It's not something bad. But there's how to condone yourself in a church setting. There's how to condone yourself in a society. There's how to behave when you're with people. And there's how to behave when you're at home. But all those demarcations are no longer there. You see them bring the social media to church, bring their naked lives to the social media. And you begin to ask, who trained these children? Are they afraid? I'll be afraid those days if I go out that if I do anything wrong, my parents will scold me. And for fear of my parents, I'll try to be as good as possible. Even though I'm inside, I may be boiling, right? But I'll still control, contain all that.
So with this policy now, do you think that they are making it compulsory now? Do you think that the university can hold it? Or because some parents are skeptical, they are debating, they are rejecting it, they don't want it. You cannot compare my child to go for drug AC. It's not a drug, just like you said, they are not aware. They don't know what these children do behind
their
them.
back.
And then they are now saying, we don't want this drug test. What's the balance?
Well, I tend to side with parents one way.
Okay, why?
One, there was a time NDLA advocated that all politicians must do compulsory
drug test.
Test. And they knocked that off the board. And nobody heard about it again. It was killed. If you must come to equity, your hands must be clean.
Yes.
So if you are going to advocate that we do tests for all our words, you will do them. You'll get the people to do them. Let's start with your children. Come to think of it, most of their children are not in our schools. So who are they advocating for? Who are they advocating for? Have they made the environment so well conducive so that the children will not be prone to drug and illicit drug? Now, even suicide is on the rise. That's another topic. Because there's depression everywhere. The society is not what it used to be. Those days, you could quickly move to an auntie's place and get succor. But now, your auntie is suffering. It's hot on all sides. Things are not what they used to be. So, you're advocating for drug tests. Let's start with your children. If you ask me, most of the so-called drug barons, they are not children of not well-to-do children.
Because the drugs are expensive.
Because the drugs are expensive. Again, on a second note, if you want to start drug testing, have you gone to when they are doing admission processes, the queues at the medical centers to get tested, to do basic medical,
that's a whole
the
lot.
long queues. Now, if you're bringing drug testing to it, and that has to be for first-year students or returning students. What time do we have for academics if we have to create time for that long queue again, like bringing the banks to the schools? So where do we have the time? And the stampede, and when we do that and there's a stampede and some people are injured or lose their lives, it will be on the social media, the news will carry it, and we'll be shouting. Do we have formalities? Have we planned it that is workable and feasible? I don't see it as feasible, but if they could convince me that it's feasible, who am I not to accept?
Okay.
We want something good for the society.
I have a question in regard. Let me come to you, Mr. Ma. As a student now, a returning student, and then you resume on that day, and then let us assume that modalities have been put in place to do the testing now, and you're being called to go for because one thing in this part of the world is that stigmatization.
Yes.
We do it a lot here.
Yeah.
Every small thing you are being stigmatized, and that traumatizes a lot. People begin to, before you know, they are tagging you other, and you're being asked, you're being subjected to do the test. How would you willingly go for the test?
I will not willingly go because I'll feel very bad because me now as a person, I don't even know this drug, like what kind of drugs they are, not to talk more of, to take them. So asking me to do stuff like that can affect me psychologically and emotionally because, and then people will now be looking at me, like me now in my school area, I have this reputation, people are like, Mom Gio, that's kind of what they call me.
Okay.
So now, something like that, if I'm told to to go and do a test like that because it's mandatory, and me, I'm a rules person, and I don't want to do anything that will get the school against me. So I want to do it, but it's not willingly. It's not willingly because of the stress and the issues that comes with this school stuff. Because most of the time now, if they do that test, what if it turns out positive and is actually negative? Because Nigeria, everything
I was coming to that.
Everything here in Nigeria is always somehow. So you cannot say that this is the actual test result. What if they make mistake and give someone else's result to me, yes. and I'm going now, like you said, I'm labeled, and automatically now that's a stigma I have to carry, whether it's cleared or not. So everybody now be like, this girl that used to do as if she's the holier than thou, that is going to church, all of that. So I don't feel like it's like my HOD rightly said, Nigeria, I don't think we can do something like that.
We are not ready.
We are not ready yet. We are not ready yet.
Okay.
Like, we don't have what it takes.
Modalities.
Thank you very much. We don't have what it takes, the modalities put in place to handle such. Only the drug tests that we used to take in school. People will go there, they'll tell them their blood group is O+, they'll tell them this one is A. And when they go outside,
I'm a victim,
and go to do an actual test, they'll realize that the genotype of blood group that they've been given in school is actually wrong. So something like this, as little as genotype, or that is not something that is so dangerous that will not affect you. Imagine when you go there and you're getting a test result, and then you are they tell you that you're positive, and then the school takes appropriate measures to want to handle this student that has tested positive. Now I'm taking away from academics, I'm taking away from, I'm someone that like book, I'm taking away from school, I'm taking away from all of those things. So it affects me eventually. Now how do I come back?
That's why
to society. How do I come back? So me, I feel like it's not something.
But let me see now. You as a language expert, and the government is looking at building this thing into a curriculum. Do you think that if they do this, it will help the young people to adopt this system? Now, if we have all the modalities, because I know what she's talking about. I was a victim in the school there, where I gave my blood sample for a test, and I had this result, and all the while I believed that that was my result. It only happened when I was getting married, that 1 week the church had to send me for another test, and another result came out, and I said, it's not possible, that's not my result. And the church said, this is your result. And I was made to go to another clinic to run the test again. And what the church gave me was exactly what they gave me. So the school gave me, just like she said, a swap result. It's possible that that could happen. But if modalities accurately are being put in place, do you think we can build this into a curriculum, start from the nursery primary? Because from not primary, secondary, we have children who are tampering and dealing with hard drugs. Now, can we make this into like a curriculum? Do you think it should be possible?
Well, there's nothing impossible in as much you have a mind to do it right.
Okay.
Our problem here is not whether it's possible. The problem is, are we willing to do it? If you say there's going to be a test, there are parents that will resist it.
They are already resisting.
Okay? If you're saying there's going to be modalities, will they all accept the modalities? The children are minors. They don't decide. So their parents must decide at that level. Their parents must decide whether they want them to go through that or not. I, for one, will not even allow my child go through tests by an outsider, except I was there.